Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at 10 of my favorite plants. It was really hard for me to pick 10 plants that I like the most, but I think I did it, and I've arranged them in order from least to most. So here we go. We'll start with my number 10, right here. This is a Pylea Candyria, or an aluminum plant, but this is a variegated version, and some of the leaves come in, they have some white and a little bit of pink. There's a bit of pink on this one. These two leaves actually came in fully white, but as a plant that has variegation produces leaves that are more and more increasingly white, they tend to die quickly because the leaf doesn't actually do anything for the plant. So it just kind of browns immediately. But I think it looks really cool. These plants are super easy to take care of. They are a good terrarium plant. They're really easy to propagate. If you cut a piece off and stick it in water, it'll root right away. I think mine rooted like within 2 days. There was little roots coming off of them. Yeah, so this is my number 10, and I love her. For my number 9 favorite plant, I have a Peperomia. I don't know what kind of Peperomia this is exactly. I just got it at a greenhouse, and it was in like a little, like 3-inch pot or 2-inch pot or something, and it was, yeah, just labeled as Peperomia. So I'm not sure what kind it is, but it's actually grown quite a bit. It has lots of new little leaves. It's really beautiful. I love the shape of the leaves, and I love how juicy and succulent they are. This is one of the Peperomias that you can actually do something called a taco test. And I learned this from Summer Rayne Oakes' channel, and she was explaining how certain Peperomias have very juicy leaves, and when they need to be watered, they'll actually be more bendable, and you can make kind of like a taco out of it. Most of these ones are actually really hard right now though, so not quite ready to be watered. But yeah, this is one of my favorite Peperomias. I have lots of Peperomias, but this is one of my favorites. It's my number 9. For my number 8, I have this little variegated rubber plant, and I'm not sure exactly the Latin name. I think it's Ficus elastica variegata, but it might actually have its own Latin name. I'm not sure. But I got this at a grocery store for $4. It was just in the little houseplant section there by the flowers, and I don't know, I haven't seen them go that cheap before, so I scooped it up right away. It's already produced one new leaf here. I've only had it a little while, and yeah, it seems very happy where I put it. I have a north-facing window, but it has lots of bright light that comes in there, so I put it there, and it's been doing really nice. Yeah, I love the 3 different colors that you can see in the leaves. There's like a cream, and a light green, and a dark green, and they all kind of make like a camouflage pattern. So that's really fun. For my number 7, I have a Ponytail Palm. I have lots of Ponytail Palms, but this one was the biggest. I've found some pots over the past couple months that were at greenhouses or at grocery stores, and they had a bunch of different ones in one pot. So I separated them out so that they could have their space and grow how they're supposed to. I really like this one because it has a nice big round caudex on it. The caudex is this like kind of bulbous piece at the bottom that holds moisture for a plant. So these are actually a type of succulent, and they hold the moisture in their caudex for times when there's not very much water. They're native to Mexico, and yeah, I really love this one. I can't wait for its leaves to get even longer. I've seen some get like a huge caudex like this big, and then the leaves are curling as they come off, and I just think they're so beautiful. So I'm so excited to see what it will do. I think they're actually pretty slow growers though, so maybe when I'm 30 it'll be not that big, I'm not sure. My number 6 favorite plant is this Monstera deliciosa. I got this as a cutting, a very big cutting, from someone here in the city. I had bought a small cutting from her before, and she said her friend had a full-size Monstera that she was selling, and she wanted to sell it for like $120 or something like that. And for those people that are in the States and can find Monsteras very cheap, lucky you. In Canada, they're very hard to find. Well, not very hard to find, but harder, and they're more expensive. And so I said I couldn't afford the full-size plant for that much, but then they decided to cut it up and make cuttings for rooting, and then sell them for cheaper. So this one had 3 leaves, not this leaf. It had these 3 big leaves, and I put it in water. I got it for $35, and it rooted really quickly, and I just put it in this big pot, and it's been doing great. I can't wait to see what else it will do. I don't know where the next leaf will come from, but I'm waiting. And yeah, it's beautiful. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay, number 5 is, where's number 5? This one, yes. My number 5 favorite plant is, okay, I changed my mind. This one, yeah, we'll go with this one. This is a Calathea, or Calathea, I don't know how people prefer to say it. I bought this plant at a greenhouse. I think it was $26 or something, and it's just huge. And originally when I wanted to repot it, I wanted to break it up into smaller chunks, but like, I don't know how to do that. It was very tightly packed, and I didn't want to rip anything apart. And I don't know if you can root Calatheas in water, like if you cut them. So I just kind of put it in a bigger pot, and it's just doing its thing. Like, it is shooting out new leaves all over the place. Yeah, it's really beautiful. I love the purple undersides of the leaves. They really, really make me happy. And I love that it moves with the sun. When the sun goes down, they kind of fold up a little bit. I believe they're related to Marantas or prayer plants. So, yeah, this is my number, what was this? 5, yes, number 5. My number 4 favorite plant is this Syngonium. Syngoniums are actually my favorite plant out of all of my houseplants. I have quite a few, and I have lots of different colors. And this one was actually almost tied for 4th place with a Syngonium I had that's like pink, like a dark pink, almost red almost. And for some reason, I am obsessed with this brown color that this one produces. It's very confusing. Sometimes people think it's like dead or dying, but it's actually doing really well. And it just has a brown leaf, and I really, really like that. I'm not sure why, but yeah. Syngoniums are like a vine, so something to remember about them is that when they start to vine out, they can actually kind of look a little bit out of control and stringy. So you just need to make sure that if it's starting to go in a direction you don't want it to, just cut it back and keep it a nice little bushy plant. I'm thinking that one's probably going to have to, this one's going to have to take a trim soon. I don't know, it's getting a little wild on me. My number 3 favorite plant is this fern. I don't know what kind of fern it is. I got this at Home Depot for $2.50. I was there with a friend, and she was going to buy a little rubber plant, and it was also $2.50, and she decided she didn't want to because she already had one and it was fine, whatever. But then she was like, oh, this fern's kind of pretty, maybe I should get it. And I was like, yeah, you should. And she was like, why am I even getting this? This isn't my aesthetic, this is your aesthetic. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So then I got it. I don't, like, it comes with a tag that just says fern. Ferns come in assorted sizes and frond shapes. Most prefer humid conditions. Grow in medium to low light. So if you know what kind of fern this is, please let me know. I would much appreciate it. But yeah, I'm not really a fern person. I only have one other one because it came in like a little pot like this, and it's just like a little fuzzy little guy, and it's really, really cute. But this one was actually really beautiful, so I just kind of needed to get it. Okay, you guys, second last favorite plant. So this is my number 2 out of my top 10. It is this beautiful little orchid, little Phalaenopsis that I got. I got this at, where did I get this? Sobeys? Actually the same day that I got the Fern. And it was about $12, but I am obsessed. It's so beautiful. It has a little stem coming. I don't know if it's going to produce more flowers than what's here, but yeah, it's really, really beautiful, and I treasure her. She actually doesn't stand up very well, so I'm always really scared she's going to fall over, but I always kind of prop her up against a crystal in my bedroom. But yeah, I am going to do an orchid video explaining my experiences with orchids, because they have not been the most prosperous of journeys. However, I think I've figured it out now. Basically, they are very low maintenance, and I was treating them as if they were slightly more high maintenance, and they did not appreciate that. And then it caused me to have to... It's a long story, but we will talk about that. But anyways, this is my second favorite houseplant out of my top 10 favorite houseplants, a little white Phalaenopsis orchid. Okay everyone, we've reached number 1. This plant is currently my favorite houseplant. I did not expect it to do well, honestly, but I was just kind of experimenting with it, and yeah, I'll just get to it. So, oh my god, I knocked the orchid over. Oh. This is an escargot begonia. It's called that because it has these little like curling leaves that look like snail shells. Hopefully you can see that. They kind of curl over themselves. I think it's really beautiful. Something to keep in mind when you are buying plants such as begonias, they're often used outside as annuals, and that makes them a lot cheaper, and there's certain types of begonias that will grow inside. And if you can find them in the annual section, they're like maybe like $5 versus, you know, a house plant that could be up to like 20 or something. So definitely look in the annual section for certain begonias. However, keep in mind there are very few kinds that will do well inside. Most of the begonias will need a lot brighter light and will need to be outside. I bought this guy for $10, and it's already put out like 3 new leaves, and it's gotten a lot bigger. I think originally it was just like a piece of a leaf that they put in soil, and I think they root that way. I'm not really sure. I haven't researched that very much yet, but it's in like the middle of my house. There's windows on one side and windows on the other side, and then it's like on like a ledge in the middle, and it seems to get enough light there because it's not really reaching. It's kind of staying nice little plant or whatever. But anyways, I got this for $10, and I found another one which I at the time was not very educated about, and I thought it was an angel wing begonia, and it's not. It definitely does not want to be inside. And this is what it looks like now. It was a beautiful little bushy plant, but it just does not have the light that it needs. So this is outside now. I just brought it in to show you guys, but I don't know if it's gonna live. It was also $10. If it dies, it dies. Yeah, it was a mistake. But to keep in mind, this looks like an angel wing, but this is not a begonia that does well inside. So you just kind of need to know what varieties will grow inside before you go and buy them. Alright guys, that has been my top 10 favorite plants. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe. My collection's always changing and growing, so I might be able to do this again in a couple months, who knows? But yeah, stay tuned for more videos. Thanks!